Booger lug. Like this one. Nope, there goes that potato. And another one, and another one. Peace, peace. Salam, family. Peace. What's going on? Thank you for joining. I know it's midday. I know it's Monday. But who the hell cares, man? The truth don't give a damn what day it is, right? And honestly, I want to bring this read to a close, man. I got the opportunity to finish this book. Actually, I finished this book the first night. After the first night, I did the first part of the reading of this book. So, cause I can't wait for damn Monday to finish it. So I finished it that night, man. And man, it brought so much clarity to our story as people, our story as Moors. So much clarity. I just realized you leave this right behind me, boy. All right, I'm cool with it. It don't bother me. Anyway, so we're gonna pick up where we left off from. Left off at fact number 80. Okay, 103 amazing facts about the Black Indian of the Western Hemisphere. If y'all don't know, the Americas, aka what they call the New World, is known as the Western Hemisphere. But we know this as the ancient world. Okay? So, we're going to pick up from, and if anyone's interested in this book is on Amazon for $250,000. All right? If you're interested in this PDF, a beautiful Moor shared this with me for free. So, if you want this PDF, just hit me up. And at SunelUniversity.com. SunelUniversity@gmail.com. That's SUNELUNIVERSITY@gmail.com. Just put in the subject 103 facts about the Negro, and I'll be more than happy to send it through. If you're already a private member, just go and look in the recreational reading folder, and you should find that there. Enjoy. So we're going to go to 80, and we're going to continue. And we're going to bring this to a close. And the reason why I wanted to bring this to the close, because I want to dive deep, dive a little bit further into the treaty. I was able to cover, Articles 1 through 5. So after we cover this and get a clear understanding of this, after you watch parts 1, 2, and 3 of this, and also you just sit down and just read the damn book yourself. Read it. Or just read it. Once you have that clarity, then we can get a better understanding of the treaty. Okay? In Article 6, specifically of the treaty, when it's talking about two Moors, the Moors that are subject to the Sultan, and Moors that are not. All right. So we're gonna pick up from 80. Starting from right here, 80, 80. Y'all see this? 80. We right here at 80. All right. Right here at 80. What's up, Kenny? Hi. Okay, it's not, fam. I'm really trying to eat this potato right now, raw. It was good. What's good, my brother Mansa? Already. You got the little one with me. She's always ready to get this information. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this now, so she don't got to sit there and do what I did, which is sit down and have to reprogram my mind to remove all the BS to put all the good stuff in. She ain't got to do all that. She's just getting the good stuff right now. Yeah, Islam the family in the chat room. Dang, man, a lot of people available on a Monday. No sorry Mondays over here. You know what I'm saying? Ugh. Girl, you tested me with these potatoes here now. Oh, my phone. Quick reflexes. You know, they get to that age when they start grabbing everything, man. Man, it's like they got webs or they got spider fingers. Everything just sticks. Everything just sticks. All right. So let's get into this. Okay. Islam. Let's get back to where we was at. No, you can't touch the phone, baby girl. Daddy gotta read the phone. Daddy gotta read the facts from the phone. Okay. Here we go. Perfect. Islam, appreciate you coming through, brother Kiani. Wasali. Hey, let's do this. 80. Fact number 80, y'all. Many black Indians who became thoroughly indoctrinated into European lifestyle took on European names and European titles, such as military officers, clergymen, or just plain businessmen. And you see how the business world operates, right? The business world or the commerce world is like modern day warfare. So we're at war when it comes to business. That's how Europeans function with that. It's like warfare. So you got to come with a strategic mind. Okay? Now, 81. Many black Indians who became indoctrinated into European lifestyle, in fact, moved to different European countries such as Spain, England, France, and Portugal, denounced their own nationality and became citizens of these European countries. So they denounced their Moorish nationality. If you look up expatriation and citizenship of the United States, page 459, you'll find that in parts 2 and 3, the only way a Moorish American or Moor, the only way a Moor could lose their nationality was to come under the protections, right? Come under the protections of a nation or state that has treaty relations with the Moorish Empire. So last time I checked, Spain, England, France, and Portugal all have treaty relations with the Moorish Empire. If you haven't read the Treaty of France or the treaty between Morocco and Great Britain, you understand? All these are European countries. So once again, they denounced their own nationality and became citizens of these European countries, meaning they became under the protection of a country that had treaty relations with the Moorish Empire. And that's the only way Moors could lose their nationality. The only way. 82. Many black Indians, of course we know we're not Indians, this is a misnomer. Many black Indians who left their homeland throughout the 15th through the 19th centuries and migrated to various European countries, their progeny are still there to this day. Their progeny are still there to this day. Some of them have maintained the information of their true roots of origin, meaning some of those who left America to go live in these other European countries, they still know who they are. They still know their origins as Almaricanos. While others have become lost in the sauce. While others, let me read that last part again. Some of them have maintained the information of their true roots of origin, meaning the children of those Moors who did leave, the Almaricanos, who did denounce their nationality as Moors and then became citizens of these other European nations. Their children are still there today. Some of them still know, and then some of them are lost in the sauce. That's fact number 82. Fact number 83. Depending upon which European nations black Indians had intercourse with or formed treaties with, also depended upon how their identity was eventually altered. Black Indian nations who had intercourse with Spain eventually became known by the colonized titles of Latino. Okay, so this is why some of these treaties were not good, because of the fact that part of the agreement was that you, being Aboriginal, would have to relinquish your indigenous title. Does that sound like a good agreement to you? I think that sounds like voluntarily relinquishing my birthrights. No bueno. No. Okay? So, this is how it happened, right? Black Indian nations who had intercourse with Spain eventually became known by the colonized titles of Latino and Hispanic. Black Indians who had intercourse with the French became known by the colonized titles of Creole. Black French and Haitian. Repeat that one more time for all my Haitian brothers and sisters, because you know they would misclassify me as a Haitian. Okay? They would. But see, you have to see now. They are colonized titles. What's up, booby? What's up, booby? What's up, booby? You can't believe it either, right? I can't believe it either. I can't believe it either. Let's go back. Fact number 83. Fact number 83. I'm going to read this back from the... Matter of fact, let me read this last part and then I'm going to read it back from the top. Okay? Black Indian nations who had intercourse with Spain eventually became known by the colonized title of Latino and Hispanic. Those are colonized titles. Those aren't organic, right? Let's move on. Black Indians who had intercourse with the French became known by the colonized titles of Creole, Black French, and Haitian. So those are all colonized titles. Because before we were... Here too. She is? Yes. Is the door open for her? Yes. Okay, perfect. I'll open it. Yeah, go open it for her. So, we were Haitian. He got it, baby? You got it? I'll be right back. I'm coming, baby.
No, we gonna go to the store. Go put your socks on. Okay. Oh yeah, God. I guess Beyonce's supposed to come over.
Okay. Baby just walked in. Cool. Alright. Okay. So now we back, right? So Hispanic and Latino are colonized titles. Creole, Black French, and Haitian are colonized titles. Black Indians who had intercourse with the British became known by the colonized titles of Negro and Colored. Those are also colonized titles. Black Indians who became victims of British subjugation are still going through colonized title changes. For the moment, they are presently known as Black Americans and African American. And then maybe in 2020 they'll go by another name, and then by 2025 another name, and then by 2030 another name, and then by 2035 and then 2040. Like, how many times are they going to keep changing these colonized titles? This is important to understand, okay? So when we say we are Moors, we're taking ourselves to a time and space that is ancient, that goes before Haitian, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Jamaican, Brazilian, Cuban. We're going to a time that predates all of these things. Because before then, just like Pangea was all one landmass, we were all one people called Moors. We were one people. We at 83, right? Let me go back up here. Let me find one of these facts that was crucial. This is good information though, right, baby? She reading with me too. She reading. She looking at the phone line for line. That's my girl. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to find it right now real quick. Once I find it, I'll let y'all know which one it is. 33. Okay? This is fact number 33. Peace, Sister Ivy. Fact number 33. Indigenous Black Celtics, Indigenous Black Britons, Indigenous Black Portuguese, Indigenous Black Spaniards. Indigenous Black Spaniards, also known as Moors. Spaniards, ain't that Portuguese? Ain't that Hispanic Latino? Indigenous Black Britons, ain't that people from Great Britain, Europe? Black Celtics, Europe. Portuguese, Portugal. You understand? So before all these conquer and divide, colonized titles came, we were just Moors. And I don't want to say like just, because that's all we needed to be. We didn't need to be anything else. We didn't need to be anything else. It was that simple. It was that simple. We were Moors. The Caucasians were amalgamated Moors, or the pale Moors. You understand? Because we do understand now that even the Moors are there were black Moors and white Moors. Okay? So we're all Moors. Even Caucasian people are Moors. It's strong too. Okay? Even Caucasian people are Moors. So that was fact number 33. All right. So when they're talking about, let's go back to 83. Let's go back to 83. Where we at? I'm gonna read 83 one more time. Depending upon which European nations Black Indians had intercourse with or formed treaties with, also depended upon how their identity was eventually altered. So that means some of these Indians who made these treaties with the United States, and they're like, well, they reneged on the treaties. Well, that's because part of the agreement was you had to allow them to alter. You want mommy? All right, baby girl hungry. Gotta get that food in. Gotta get that colostrum fluids in from them breast milks. Gotta give the body everything she needs. She can think properly. That's why she was so in tune when she was reading with me. Y'all gotta get it, man. If you got a daughter, man, you educate your daughter, you done saved the nation. Did you know that? You educate your daughter, you done saved you done saved the whole nation. Islam. If you got a son who has woken up a woman to be by his side, you have saved the nation. You know what I'm saying? So we're here to save each other, man and woman. People think just because Prophet Ali was holding the woman, one foot in the war, one foot on the land, that he's the one that's saving her. I was like, no, he's returning the favor. How do you think he got there? He only got there through a woman. So she saved him. He's only returning the favor. She pulled him out of water, so he's pulling her out of water. You see what you're doing? All right. 83. Depending upon which European nations Black Indians had intercourse with or formed treaties with, also depended upon how their identity was eventually altered, like from Moors to Indians. Okay. Black Indian nations who had intercourse with Spain eventually became known by the colonized titles of Latino and Hispanic. Colonized titles. Black Indians who had intercourse with the French became known by the colonized titles of Creole, Black French, and Haitian. Black Indians who had intercourse with the British became known by the colonized titles of Negro and Colored. Black Indians who became victims of British subjugation are still going through colonized title changes for the moment. They are presently known as Black Americans and African Americans. 84. Most Black Indian nations honored matriarchal societies. Matriarchal. Matriarchal. What's a matriarch? Let's pull this up real quick. Matriarch.
I have to go get Danny.
Okay.
You still doing it?
Yeah.
Why does it always feel like sugar over here?
On the floor?
Yeah, that was sugar.
Might be some salt. I'll sweep it up. Matriarch.
You talking right now?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Matriarch. Noun. Noun. A woman who is the head of a family or tribe.
Why you laugh?
Bullet point. An older woman who is powerful within a family or organization. So we got 1. A woman who is the head of a family or tribe. 2. An older woman who is powerful within a family or organization. Okay. So we got our matriarch. Right? We got our matriarch. So, back to fact number 84. Most Black Indian nations honored matriarchal societies, meaning the women were in charge. They were the head. And then to affirm that, right? Fact number 85. Most Black Indian chiefs were women. Here, I'll let you read it. 84 and 85. Look at it for yourself. Look at it for yourself. Look at that. Look at that. So now, this is where we have to come with the accountability, right? Because now that we understand that most Black Indian chiefs were women, that means that some of the sellouts who sold us out, who sold out some of our tribes, who were the heads of some of those tribes, were Moorish women, Moabitesses. All right, so we got betrayed by a mom. Not all the moms, but if most Black Indian chiefs were the women, and you got a whole lot of Indian treaties today, how did that come about? All right, now I'm not putting all of it on the mom, but hey, we all make mistakes, so this is one that we have to acknowledge, both mother and son. Okay, so most of the chiefs of these tribes were women. Y'all, not men. We were a matriarchal system. So a lot of the things that happened within our tribes, those who crossed over or decided to fight against us, were the woman was the one making that decision. Okay? So then you got to understand where it's like, yo, how come some of these tribes, like on the Trail of Tears, how come they just decided to walk and just leave? Well, maybe they had women and children, and maybe they were injured, and this is a woman in charge thinking about this decision, not a man. Can you see that? Can you see that? All right. I hope you can see that. 86. Black Asians from various dynasties, Chow, Shang, and many others, migrated from Asia thousands of years ago to the regions now known as North, South, and Central America. These Black Asians mixed in with the Black natives who were already occupying these lands. This explains why some natives or indigenous people of the Western Hemisphere, aka Indians, have high cheekbones and slanted eyes. This type of image of the native of the Western Hemisphere has been widely promoted. Other natives who do not possess these features were carved out of history. To promote how other natives look would not have been a balancing move for the colonizer. All right? It wouldn't have been in their favor if they'd done that. So this is why they have to trick us or psychologically play us into thinking that we're not ourselves in order so they can remove us out of history. All right? And that's why they didn't want us to read for the First 300 years. Now, 87. Black Indians lived and thrived in the Western Hemisphere during the time of the Ice Age. Black Indians lived and thrived in the Western Hemisphere during the time of the Ice Age. They occupied the regions of what is now known as Southern North America, Mexico, Central and South America, down by the equator, where it's hot and warm, y'all. That sounds like a place we want to be, right? Where it's hot and warm. 88. Huge monolith stone heads, Olmec heads, have been unearthed in the Mexico region. This ancient culture has become to be known. Huh? Okay, you gonna take her or leave her?
I mean, I have to take her because she wants the nurse, and I have to go leave her.
Okay, you can leave Kenny here.
What?
Kenny,
Please go lay down and take a nap. He is laying down taking a nap. He's not supposed to be up.
Okay.
He needs a nap to reset.
Okay, that's fine. Gucci. Alright. Start from the top. 88. Huge monolith stone heads have been unearthed in the Mexico region. Peace from Maryland, brother Fine. Been unearthed in the Mexico region. Yeah. This ancient culture has come to be known as the Olmec people. Past and present archaeologists and anthropologists both agree that the Olmec represent not only one of the oldest cultures found in the Western Hemisphere, but also agree that the Olmec represent the mother culture of the Aztec, Inca, and Mayan civilizations. Moors. 89. Some people teach that the Olmec migrated from the Nile Valley region in East Africa to the Western Hemisphere. If this is true, right? If they came from East Africa over here to the Americas, if this is true, they were only received by black natives who were already residing here. If it's true. Islam. If it's true. If it's true, then the only people who were receiving them here were the so-called black natives or black Indians who were already here. They weren't being received by pale-faced Moors. Okay? They weren't. So, 89. 90. Many black Indians who became indoctrinated into European lifestyle joined European orchestrated fraternities and secret societies, such as the Order of Freemasonry. So do y'all see the layers that we're all playing in keeping our own self in servitude, our own self in bondage? So this is not Caucasian people doing this. This is our own doing this. The battle is self. You know, when the prophet says, who's the lower self? Self. You know what I'm saying? Who's the devil? Self. Who's the higher? Who's the higher self? Self. They're both you. We were on both sides of the war. We're on both sides. And then the pale-faced people were in the middle. It was all about us, man. It wasn't about them. And then to this day, we are in, when I say we, I mean we, right? The black Indians, we are in European orchestrated fraternities and secret societies and other orders with the agenda of what? Keeping information like this secret. Not not open and about to the public. That way we can know the real story about what happened. This is our family story, y'all. This is our family story. This is our good story and our bad story. It's the whole story. Whole story in 103 facts to paint a picture. Moors on both sides. Moors on the Confederate side. Moors on the Union side. Moors fighting to protect our ancestral lands and birthrights. Moors fighting us alongside the Europeans to take our ancestral lands and birthrights. All us. There's nobody to blame except self. So therefore, we should stop banging on each other. Because obviously, as you can see, we've been banging on each other since time immemorial. And I think we should cut it out. I think we should stop. It's time to do something different. Maybe we could try living in love and peace and being competency and having knowledge of self. Let's try doing that for 100 years and see how far we get. You know what I'm saying? Let's try something different. Because if you keep doing the same shit and expecting something different to happen, that's called insanity. Not only in jurisprudence, but in the medical field. That's called insanity. You would be diagnosed as an insane individual. For the record. All right? So privately, you're still being insane. Off the record. All right. And this is no knock or hate on our brothers and sisters who are in there. Because honestly, they don't know. I would imagine if they knew, they probably wouldn't do it. Now, if they did do it, then you would know for a fact that, all right, you that more that was on the other side. You that more. I know who you are. I don't hate you. I wish no ill wills to you, but I know where you stand. So you can just stand over there. Islam. From a distance, though. Islam. You see what I'm saying? But we don't gotta bang and hate. We just let them do what they do. We do what we do. This takes too much energy to put that life force into tearing down someone else. Let's just build ourselves up. Let's build ourselves up so high to the point where we can't even see the BS no more. We're so high up. You know what I'm saying? In the stratosphere. Let's go up in that Merkaba. You know what I mean? But not in a metaphysical sense. Your Merkaba is the more information you get, the more you apply it, the more changes come into your life, the more you start to get lighter, right? In life. Less stress, less pressure. You know how to do things. You know how to operate. That's the Merkaba. In basic everyday life. It don't got to be something spooky and majestic like, oh, we can only think about this in the abstract. No, you can think about this as hard, solid foundation right here on the third dimension. You just got to know how to interpret it. Interpret the message and then, give it in this form. All right. So we're at 89. Bam. 90. Right? That was some of us joined fraternities and whatnot. 91. The Black Indian, Joseph Brant. Right? His colonized title was Joseph Brant. His true name or his true title was Tayon Danega of the Iroquois Nation, became a Freemason. The Black Indian Joseph Brant. True title, Tayon Danega. Tayon Danega, 91. Tayon Danega. Tayon Danega. Member of the what? The Iroquois Nation. Who's the Iroquois Nation composed of? Moors. Joined Freemasonry. Alright? It's us doing it to ourselves. There were some Black this is fact number 92. There were some Black Indian nations of the Western Hemisphere region who had known blood ties to various clans in Africa. So once again, we weren't strangers to our cousins over there. We actually knew, you're actually one of my cousins. We was here, you moved over there, you had children over there, you flourished over there. We're family. We're still in the communication. You're in one jurisdiction, I'm in another jurisdiction. But we're both under the same empire, same umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Same mama, different house. Same mama, different house. Same mama, different house. Same mama, different house. You understand? Same mama, different house. Okay? Remember, in my father's, or I should say in my mother's house, there are many mansions. Many mansions. The same way you look at inside of a woman's body, there are many eggs. There are many life forces. There are many beings ready to be created. Many nations. Many. All right. 93. Many Black Indians navigated the oceans and did not live in isolated communities as taught by the paleface in their school systems. You damn right we weren't isolated. We were living amongst each other. That's why when we started beefing with each other, it got so bad because of the fact we were so close to each other. Could you imagine if you live next door to your close family And then next you know you got something happens where you went from best friends, now you're extreme enemies. And y'all live right next door. You gotta see him every day. Every day. Could you try to comprehend what that feels like? What that looks like? What type of reality is that? You see what I'm saying? So yes, we were very close knit. So when we had an issue, you know what I'm saying? It was a big issue because of the fact we all live close by. So if we had beef with one tribe and one tribe got beef with another tribe, that's an issue. Because we all living together. We not like over there, you over there, 20 miles down, you see one tribe, 25 miles down, you see another tribe. Nah, we in here. We was together. We were like a unit. Fact number 94. During the early 1800s, certain black Indians who went under the colonized titles of Negro and Colored helped to establish settlements on the west coast of Africa for other black Indians. These black Indians went under another title. They were also known as the Black Elite. The Black Elite? Yeah. In the late 1800s, other settlements were established in Liberia. Many black Indians, those who knew they were indigenous to the Western Hemisphere, those that didn't know, and those that thought they were from Africa, settled in West Africa under the disguise of Negroes and Colored seeking a better life. So when they say, yo, leave here and go back to Africa. Okay, we did that. Some of us did that in the 1800s. We did that, right? We came back under the colonized terms, Negro and Colored, helped to establish settlements on the west coast of Africa for other black Indians. Then we went under another title, right? We were known as the Black Elite. And then in the late 1800s, other settlements were established in Liberia. Many black Indians, in Liberia, there were many black Indians. There were those who knew they were indigenous to the Western Hemisphere. There were those that didn't know. And there were those that thought they were from Africa. Settled in the West under the disguise of Negroes and Coloreds, seeking a better life. A black Indian by the name of Paul Koof, a black Pequot, P-E-Q-U-O-T, Pequot, helped many black Indians settle on the west coast of Africa. Paul Koof owned and operated many boats. He had his own shipping company, and in that era became one of the richest black Indians in America at that time. Paul Koof, P-A-U-L-C-U-F-F-E. Research. Fact number 95. Many black Indians east of the Mississippi River wore turbans adorned with feathers. Besides their language having the idiom of the Hebrew tongue, the wearing of the turban was a physical sign of their genetic link to the Hebrew Israelites. It's all one culture, yo. It's all one culture. So yeah, that means when old Columbus boy came here with our cousins, right? Being escorted over here by our cousins, they saw many of us that had our turbans on and our feathers. Because that was our dress. That was our natural habit. That's what we do. That's how we express. Okay? 96. Certain black Indian nations acted as police for freshly established European colonies. So you know the thing about the slave catchers? It wasn't paleface people. We were the slave catchers to our damn selves. Nice. What year was it published? Oh, nice. 2001. Ain't that the thing when they say Y2K? 2001? Yeah, I bet. Y2K shutdown. Y2K shutdown. For real, for real. All right. So certain black Indian nations acted as police for freshly established European colonies. These black Indian police protected European settlements from other black Indians who did not want Europeans settling on their lands. So could you imagine? I come, I see foreigners coming in trying to, you know, encroach themselves on my property, and then I got one of my own protecting them. Don't that sound like when you call the cops and then you see one that look like you and then he's enforcing the so-called? So remove the pale face from that scenario. We were the police. We were the slave catchers. The slave catchers look like self. The lower self looks like self. The higher self is self. It's all about self. We were our enemy, not the pale face. It's so easy to let go of the hate, man, when you know the facts. Yeah, so our own helped the Europeans by fighting us, forcing us to move ourselves, because only we could defeat ourselves. So forcing us to move, and then they partner up with the Europeans. You know what I'm saying? And then now they're on the European salary. They think they're good, but the European end up fucking them over. So whatever they got promised to fuck us over, they didn't even get what they got. So you see how much of a karmic debt we have to pay? We've paid it already. But do you see how much? So when people be like, oh my God, why do they do this to us? Like, do you realize what we did to each other first before we even got to them? They witnessed what we did to each other. Then they had to experience what we did to them. And we looking at them like something wrong with them. I think we out to lunch, y'all. There ain't nothing wrong with them. Something wrong with us. Like I said, we are Geppetto looking at Pinocchio like, what's wrong with you, Pinocchio? What is the problem? Why do you act this way? And it's like Geppetto's completely missing the fact that, yo, he's the one that created Pinocchio. So whatever problems Pinocchio got, they came from his creator. So whatever issues we see the pale-faced Europeans have, or whatever things we see them do, that'd be like, yo, that's wild crazy. These people just do crazy shit. Where did they get it from? Who did they see do it first? Where did they get the idea of police? They got it from us, man. We was the police. We were their police. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? That will cause a major mental, psychological mind fuck in my brain. I tell you that right now. For me to be like, damn, seeing my own like, oh, like, bro, we grew up together. What are you doing? Why are you helping them move us off our land, yo? This is our birthright. What are you doing? Nah, G, they got a better deal for me. You know what I'm saying? So I just decided that I'm gonna help them to help me. And then they end up getting fucked over in the end. So nobody won. This is why we gotta stop doing each other like that. Because nobody wins. We all lose. We all lose. So it makes no sense. So yeah, we were the police, y'all. It was us. Bad boys, what you want? What you gonna do? Okay, it's bad. You see all them bad boy junks now, you know what I'm saying? Stop thinking about pale-faced Caucasian people now. You better start thinking about yourself. Think about yourself. Here we go. 97. The Colonial Rebel Uprising, American Revolutionary War, was mainly won for the following two reasons. So the American Revolutionary War was won for the following two reasons. One, the new colonial rebel government's constitutional foundation was a black Indian constitutional government foundation. I'll say that one more time. The new colonial rebel government's constitutional foundation was a black Indian government's constitutional foundation. Was a black Indian... Right. That black Indian nation being the Iroquois nation. Right? Articles of Confederation, y'all. The Confederacy. Most of the military support came from black Indians indigenous to the Western Hemisphere region. most of the military support came from us. So we supported our own downfall. Let's get it. Other military support came from the Moors. The Moor support, the M-O-O-R, not M-O-R-E, the Moor support came from Moors that were from Spain, from France, from Portugal, and Morocco. We betrayed each other in all aspects. Some of the traitors were from Europe, some of the traitors were from home. But either way you look at it, they looked like us. Not paleface. Period. Alright? This ain't Brother Cool saying this now. This ain't Brother Cool. I'm say it again. The more support that they had received, right? The support that they did get from the Moors were the Moors, right? So if they're talking about Moors as separate people, they wouldn't say, well, we got support from the Moors. No, they're saying we got support from the Moors. The Moors from Spain, the Moors from France, the Moors from Portugal, the Moors from Morocco. But if only Moroccans are Moors, then how could there be Moors in France? How could there be Moors in Spain? How could there be Moors in Portugal? Why not call them Portuguese instead of Moors? Oh, see, but remember, those are colonized titles, right? Right? Spain, France, Portugal, even Morocco, Moroccan, colonized titles. Because if you look at the treaty, the treaty don't make mention about Moroccans. You know what the treaty states? Moors, M-O-O-R-S. So I'm just going to be simple-minded from now on. The treaty says Moors. That's what I am. I am a Moor. Period. All right? That's how I'm going to be in alignment. Now, other Moor support came from renegade Moors from England that broke away from England to support the colonial rebels. But I thought it was just the pale-faced Caucasians that was breaking away from Great Britain and Europe. You telling me it was Moors too? Breaking away from Great Britain and Europe? That looked like you and me? Yeah, they were. Okay? And they called them renegade Moors. That were breaking away from England to support the colonial rebels, meaning the Americans. Our brothers and sisters and our cousins who were betraying us, who were stealing our birthrights, who were playing themselves, okay? Now, also keep in mind, when Spain, France, and Portugal gave assistance to the colonial rebels, the Americans, there existed black Indians that also filled up the ranks of these armies. Remember, black Indians had been migrating to Europe for quite some time before the American Revolutionary War. I repeat. Black Indians from where? The Western Hemisphere. Where's the Western Hemisphere? The Americas. What they call the New World. What we call Turtle Island. Ancient Egypt of the West. Maghreb al-Aqsa, Morocco, the extreme west. Okay? So, or Atlantis. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now, right. So a lot of us, remember, black Indians had been migrating to Europe. So we have been leaving America to go to Europe for quite some time. Before the American Revolutionary War. So we've been chilling in Europe. We've been traveling and trading with our cousins in Europe. Keep this in mind. This is how Columbus had Moors on the ship that knew where to go. Because those Moors either had relations with Moors here in the Western Hemisphere, or they were from the Western Hemisphere and left and settled over there. Denounced their nationality and became citizens of whatever European country they went to. And then their children followed suit. That's it. Simple. Story is simple. Now, Black Indians had been migrating to Europe for quite some time before the American Revolutionary War. Some of these black Indians knew where they were returning to, while those who were thoroughly colonized did not. So some knew they was coming back home, and the other ones who got lost in the sauce was just like, oh, we're going to fight a war. Had no clue they were coming back home. Correct. Those interpreters were our cousins. They were Moors, or what we would call Moriscos. They were coming to steal our birthright. Their cousins. Ain't that some fucked up shit? That's like you going to your cousin's house to go rob him or rob her. Imagine the person you trust most in the world setting up like, all right, yo, I'm about to steal this person for everything they got, and they fucking rob you. They know where all your precious shit is at, and they take you for everything. That's the same scenario. Put yourself in that. Okay? So yeah, they escorted Columbus over here, and that's the only way Columbus was able to touch foot over here, because he had a pass, because we was looking at our cousins like, yo, what's up? This dude cool? And our cousins was like, yeah, he cool, he with us. But our cousins had an agenda in mind. Exactly, sounds like family. Right, sounds like family. And this is why I feel like the pale-faced people are tight at us, because if you look at them, even though they have issues with one another, they still put that shit to the side for the betterment of the entire group. So that was one thing I can say. They could look at us and be like, these niggas ain't master that shit. They don't know how to put their own selfish differences to the side for the betterment of the group. Your pale-faced people can do that. They do that with no problem. They will not fuck with that person, but for the betterment of the group, they'll do business and they'll do it right, because they're thinking about the bigger picture. We just be stuck on the small picture. All right. So that was one thing I could say. They learned, the pale-faced Europeans, they learned themselves. They taught that themselves, because we did not teach them that, because we were not exercising or living that shit for them to see. Period. So that in itself, them having that is God, because they didn't get that from us. They got that one from the universe. 98. During the Seminole Wars, the U.S. government recruited other black Indians to assist them in the war against the Seminoles. Do you see this shit? The Seminoles out there waving, swinging, fighting for their birthright, fighting for their women, their children. And then they see their cousins or their brothers and sisters from across the creek fighting along this motherfucker to try to take their shit. Don't that make your stomach turn inside? That makes me feel sick, yo. Black Indians, fact number 99. Black Indians who had lost the knowledge of themselves, their tribal identity, and were labeled as Negroes and Coloreds, were also recruited in the U.S. Army ranks to fight in the Seminole Wars. So they had those who had knowledge of self to help them fight the Seminoles. Then the U.S. Army had those who didn't have knowledge of self, who were in the ranks of the U.S. Army fighting as Negroes and Coloreds to help them fight, which was still black Indians helping them to fight, even though the black Indians didn't know they were black Indians, right? This, man, what a trip. All right. But this is where you got to give the Seminoles respect, yo. Because fact number 100. The United States government had to abandon the war with the Seminoles. They could not defeat them. Respect all the way through to my Seminoles. Respect. The U.S. government banged on them. The U.S. government got some of us to bang on them. Got some of us without knowledge itself to bang on them, and we still couldn't defeat them. Seminoles are some bad motherfuckers. And I'm sorry, let me say their proper term. The Seminoles would be the Yamasee. They would be the Yamasee or the Mifskoke, or what you would call Muskogee. Those are the Seminoles. The Yamashi or the Mifs, MVS, KOKE, Mifskoke. U.S. government couldn't defeat them. They had to fall back. They were just like, yo, fuck it. We can't deal with these guys. We're taking more of a hit than we're actually gaining. Just leave them. Fact number 101. You're getting close, y'all. Many Africans that came to the United States in this present day and time know that most so-called African Americans are indeed black indigenous Indians. And I can attest to the fact, because every day I go out of my natural habit and I go and I see my other brothers and sisters and my cousins over there from Africa, and they see me in my natural habit over here, they already know. And they tell me that they know by their conversation with me. Where am I from? I'm from right here, the Maghreb. You can see the look on their face. Oh, the Maghreb. Wow, you know this is the Maghreb. Yeah, man. I know this is home. This is the Maghreb Al-Aqsa. I'm not under the psychological spell that this is Washington. Or oh, this is the United States. No, my G. This is America. North, South, Central America. Turtle Island. Maghreb Al-Aqsa. This is home. Morocco. Moorish Empire. Not the kingdom. The empire. Not the kingdom. The empire. This is the empire. Y'all seen that show Empire, right? I watched it maybe like half a season. But y'all seen the show Empire, right? Empire. Normally when you have an empire, that means it stretches out very wide. Its reach is crazy. Maybe from like the east to the west, the north to the south. That would be like your empire. But your kingdom would be where you go to relax, where you go and, that's your rest. That's where you go to get away from everything. That's your kingdom. That's where your family. That's where you lay your head to rest. That's where you take your crown off and lay your head to rest. That's your kingdom. Okay? That's your kingdom. Now your empire, which is being run by the rest of your family, because the rest of your family runs the empire, not you. You manage your kingdom and you entrust your family to take care of the empire. So this is the Moroccan empire, not the kingdom. This is the empire. The empire is a whole lot bigger than the kingdom. The empire is the representation of the expansion of that kingdom or dynasty or family. You understand? You got to think like Game of Thrones. If you watch Game of Thrones, think like that. Oh, the king, he has a son. His wife is, the queen is pregnant with child. He has an heir. You understand? This is how you got to think. That's trust law. All right. So, most of the Africans, and I can give you an example right now. I met a brother from Gambia, maybe like a few years back. And he told me his name was Chris, right? So I looked at him and I was like, Chris. And in my mind, I'm like, man, your name ain't no goddamn Chris. Because English ain't the native tongue of Gambia. So I'm like, there ain't no way your mom and dad would have named you Chris and you from Gambia. You know what I'm saying? Chris is an English name. You get what I'm saying? Gambia is not English. It's not in Europe. It's not England. So that don't make sense. But rock with it. He asked me, what's my name? Oh, my name's Kumare Sud El. Oh, he pulled close to me immediately. My real name is Adeleke. You see what I'm saying? And I looked at him and was like, oh, Adeleke. I was like, yeah, man, that sound more right. I was like, Chris? And then, I told him straight up, I was like, when I heard Chris, I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, there's no way your mom and dad named you Chris. He started bawling out laughing because he knows the truth. He's just amazed at the fact that I'm awake enough and conscious enough to notice that. Like, bro, that's an English ass name. What you doing with that? That ain't that. I know that ain't your name. And as soon as I said, I am Ku Amare Sud El. Oh, my real name is Adeleke. I didn't explain what I was. I didn't explain my nationality. I didn't explain anything. All I said was, I am Ku Amare Sud El. After he told me he's Chris. He said, I'm Chris. I said, all right, cool. I'm Ku Amare Sud El. Oh, my real name is Adeleke. You understand? Because you could already see I'm not carrying a colonized title. Chris is a colonized title, though. He knows that, but he's not going to act like he knew that. See? So yes, they do know. They do know we're indigenous here. They do know this is Morocco. Other day, maybe like 3 weeks ago, I walked into a library in Tacoma. Bro, as soon as I walk in, the security brother, oh my God, is that a tarbush? Is that a tarbush? Yo, bro, where you from, the Middle East? I haven't seen a tarbush in almost 7 years. And I'm like, nah, I'm from right here in the Maghreb. Once again, so I said the Maghrib again. The Maghrib. Oh wow, man, yo, what's your family? Oh, my family's Moorish. Really? Yeah. Particularly what you would call today, Haiti. Modernly, the colonial name of Haiti. That's where my family, AKA, right? In my mind, I know Morocco because that's why I got a tarbouch on my head because I know that I'm a Moor. You understand? You understand? I understand. I understand. I understand. So that's why I know when people see me and they say the things they say and they have the reactions they react, that's their soul talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Because them seeing me activated something. Oh, like, yo, I haven't seen a tarbouch in 7 years. I was like, well, bruh, don't worry, because we starting to wake up. So you about to get used to seeing some tarbouches and some turbans and some motherfucking feathers again, because we back in full effect. Because we know that we ain't come here from Africa, G. We've been over here since time immemorial. Fact number one. Fact number one, the black Indian has lived in the Western Hemisphere since time immemorial. Timeless. We've been here since there was no time. Now, fact number 102, y'all. We wrapping this up, man. 102. Most foreigners from other countries abroad are waiting for so-called African Americans to reclaim their rightful titles. What? 102. 102 is number 3, right? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Third one. 102 is 3. Let's get some understanding. We need to understand that most foreigners from other nations abroad who are visiting are waiting for so-called African Americans to reclaim their rightful titles. So that lets me know that when I say I'm Kumari Su'el, they're like, yes, rightful title. They are rooting for me. No one's against me. No one's against you. It's all in your mind. Lower self is self, higher self is self. There is no one outside of yourself. 103, and this is it, y'all. The last one. We can put close the chapter on this read, and then, you know what I'm saying, next time I come back on here, we can get back into the treaty. You know what I'm saying? 6 to 10. 103. The final fact, number 103. Now y'all comprehend why this book is 250,000 notes? Because the knowledge in this book is worth so much more than that. It's priceless. It's so priceless. If you want to raise our children properly, they should read this book. They should have this book in an unabridged dictionary, so they can notice the story and then they can look at the words and what they mean. But 103, to wrap this up, the reclaiming of the identity of the black indigenous the reclaiming of the identity. Hey, what's up, Mo? It's my brother Ikra. What's going on, Ken? Aki. I'm wrapping up this book, G. It's been crazy. 103. This one right here is powerful, man. Oh, I haven't sent that to you yet? Yes. I'll send that to you as soon as I get done off here at this live. It'll only take me like 2 seconds. My bad. I got you. Alright, 103. This is the final fact, y'all. This is the most spiritually awakening fact. So just take this in right in your heart. Take this right in your heart chakra. The reclaiming of the identity of the black indigenous Indian in the Western Hemisphere region is not a difficult task. It does not require petitioning outside of yourself to someone else to acknowledge who you are. Your mother, your father, your grandmother, and your grandfather, the information that has been passed down through your lineage to you from them is the acknowledgement. Neither does it require the testing of your own DNA by way of the colonizer's pseudo contraptions. The earth and the ancestral spirits know perfectly who you are. Just claim who you are. So all these people who want to take DNA tests and all this stuff, you don't need to do that. Just be yourself. They can't prove that you're not indigenous. Don't you understand? That's an unprovable. No one can prove that. No one can prove that you're not indigenous. Y'all need to comprehend that, right? Anyone that makes a claim against you, the burden of proof is on them. So someone got to build up a case, right, to substantiate the fact that you're not indigenous. They got to build a case, not you. You don't got to build a case as to prove that you are. You just have to be. It's not difficult. It's easy. It's all in the mind. It's easy. What's up, Danny? Back to daddy? Yeah, right on cue. I'm wrapping up. You see what I'm saying? It's easy. It doesn't require anything outside of self, all right, for you to be who you are. The world knows who you are. Even when you think they don't know who you are, they know who you are. They just acting like they don't know. Okay? They know who you are. The earth knows who you are. The ancestors know who you are because we are our ancestors, right? Without doubt or contradiction. So let there be no doubt or contradiction in how you move. All right? Someone got to prove to you or prove before a competent court that you are not who you say you are. Good luck. That's what you should tell them. Good luck. Good luck proving that I'm not a Moor. Good luck. Good luck with that one. And after you're done trying to prove I'm not a Moor, I'm going to countersue your ass for defamation of character. So good luck on that one too. You see what I'm saying? Mindset. Our ancestors back in the day used to sue for everything. Niggas used to sue if the coffee was too hot. Don't y'all understand? Suing kept people in line. Suing kept people in line. You understand? You see yourself? The suing kept people in line. So we need to get back to being active and not passive. You see what I'm saying? Get back to being active and not passive. And we will get to where we need to get to. All right? Because there's a remedy in everything. So now that we know the full family story, now the next time I come back on here, we can continue off on that treat. Love y'all, fam. Appreciate y'all for sticking with me. Wow, it's been an hour and 7 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. Well, fam, love y'all. I hope this read has been great, man. Parts 1, 2, and 3. Keep going over and over it again. Once again, if you're interested in the book, just email me at Sunil University. Just put the book title in the subject, and I will gladly email it over to you because this is your information. All right, fam. Love and light. Peace.